Are you stuck in your head all day? Have you ever felt like your mind just won't stop? From the moment you wake up, thoughts start racing, worries about the future, regrets from the past, things you should have said, things you need to do, and what others might be thinking of you. It's like there's a constant storm in your head, making it hard to focus, relax, or simply enjoy the present moment. If this sounds familiar, you're not alone. So many people live trapped inside their own minds, spending more time thinking about life than actually living it. This state is called overthinking, and it can quietly steal your joy, energy, and peace without you even realizing it. The problem is, overthinking feels like you're solving something. But in reality, it often leads to more stress, doubt, and confusion. It's like trying to find your way out of a maze by walking in circles. The more you think, the deeper you get lost. But here's the good news. Being stuck in your head is not a life sentence. There is a way out. The first step is simply to recognize what's happening, to notice that your mind is spinning and that it's exhausting you. The next step is learning how to gently step out of that thought loop and come back to the present moment, where life is actually happening. You don't need to fight your thoughts or try to shut your mind down. You just need simple, clear tools that help you shift your focus, ground your emotions, and reconnect with your body and your breath. This journey isn't about becoming thoughtless. It's about becoming more aware, more calm, and more in control of where your attention goes. This guide will gently walk you through that process. We'll explore why overthinking happens, how to spot it early, and how to quiet your mind in simple, natural ways. Whether you're dealing with stress, anxiety, indecision, or just a mind that never seems to rest, you'll find hope and healing here. So take a deep breath. You don't have to stay stuck in your head forever. There's a calmer, clearer life waiting for you, and it begins right now, with one small, kind step forward. Chapter 1. The Mind Maze. Imagine your mind as a huge, winding maze, full of endless paths, walls of doubt, and loops that circle back to the same thoughts over and over again. This is what overthinking feels like. A mental maze where you're constantly searching for answers, relief, or clarity, but somehow always end up back where you started, confused, worried, and mentally exhausted. In this chapter, we explore what it really means to be stuck in your head and how it quietly takes control of your day. Overthinking isn't just thinking too much, it's thinking without peace. It's replaying past mistakes, fearing future outcomes, overanalyzing simple conversations, and doubting your decisions again and again. It often starts small, like wondering if you said the right thing or if you made the right choice, but soon becomes a tangled web of what-ifs and should-haves that can leave you feeling frozen or emotionally drained. Many people don't even realize they're trapped in this maze because thinking feels normal. It's what we all do. But when your thoughts never rest, when they spin endlessly without leading to real answers or action, that's when it becomes a problem. This kind of mental noise can affect your sleep, steal your focus, and block your happiness. It creates stress in your body, tension in your chest, and can make even small problems feel huge. And the more you try to think your way out of the maze, the deeper you go. Overthinking makes simple decisions feel heavy. It causes you to second-guess yourself and fear the judgment of others. It tells you lies like, "You're not good enough. You must get it perfect." Or, "If you stop thinking, something will go wrong." But the truth is, you don't have to keep walking in circles inside your head. The first step to escaping the mind maze is awareness. You must learn to pause and notice, "Ah, I'm caught in my thoughts again." No judgment, just gentle awareness. From there, you can begin to shift your attention to your breath, your senses, your surroundings. You can learn how to feel more and think less. You can start practicing tools like grounding, mindfulness, and gentle self-talk to guide yourself out of the maze, one breath at a time. This chapter is about shining a light on the hidden patterns of overthinking so you can stop letting your mind control your mood, your time, and your peace. You are not broken. You are simply stuck in a habit, and like any habit, it can be changed with practice, patience, and kindness. The maze may seem endless now, but there is always a way out, and it starts with understanding that you are more than your thoughts. You are the calm observer behind them, and that awareness is the key that will lead you back to peace. Chapter 2: The Symptoms of a Busy Mind. Sometimes we don't even realize how busy our minds have become, because living in constant thought has started to feel normal. But if you take a moment to pause and look closely, you'll notice the signs. A busy mind speaks in the form of racing thoughts, non-stop worry, and mental exhaustion. You wake up already feeling tired, not because your body is weak, but because your brain has been running all night. You go through your day overthinking everything, what you said, what you should say next, what others might be thinking, what might go wrong. Decisions, even small ones, feel heavy and stressful. You check your phone over and over. You feel restless but don't know why. You lie in bed at night, unable to sleep, because your mind keeps replaying conversations or imagining future problems. These are the symptoms of a busy mind, one that is stuck in thinking mode and rarely allowed to rest. Emotionally, a busy mind can leave you feeling anxious, overwhelmed, or disconnected from the present moment. You may find it hard to enjoy life's simple pleasures, like eating a meal, going for a walk, or talking to a friend, because part of you is always somewhere else, lost in thought. It can make your body feel tense, your chest tight, your breathing shallow. You might feel like your heart is always one step ahead of you, racing towards something you can't quite reach. Sometimes this mental busyness can lead to physical symptoms like headaches, stomach aches, or fatigue because your nervous system is constantly on alert. Socially, you might find yourself zoning out during conversations, unable to focus because your mind is jumping from one worry to the next. Or you may feel easily irritated, snapping at people you care about, simply because your inner world feels too loud. You might avoid activities you once enjoyed because your mind convinces you that you'll fail or look foolish. You may become overly critical of yourself, comparing your life to others and believing you're falling behind. These patterns quietly steal your peace, your confidence, and your joy. But the good news is they can be changed. Recognizing these symptoms is the first powerful step toward healing. When you become aware of how your busy mind is affecting your mood, your body, your relationships, and your energy, you gain the power to make a different choice. You don't have to keep living in a constant swirl of thoughts. You can start gently, with one breath, one pause, one act of self-kindness. This chapter is not meant to shame or blame you. It's here to help you see more clearly, so you can finally rest your mind and return to the peace you deserve. A busy mind is not a failure. It's simply a signal that you need space, stillness, and care. And that healing begins with awareness. Chapter 3. The first step, awareness. The journey out of overthinking begins with one gentle but powerful shift, awareness. It may sound simple, but awareness is the key that opens the door to freedom from a busy, noisy mind. When you're stuck in your head all day, it's easy to get caught in thoughts without even realizing it, like being in a storm without knowing it's raining. You rush through the day, lost in worries, memories, or to-do lists, and suddenly hours have passed, and you haven't truly lived a single moment. The first step to breaking free from this mental trap is to simply pause and notice. I'm thinking again. Not with blame or frustration, but with kindness. Awareness doesn't mean you stop thinking. It means you see your thinking instead of being controlled by it. Awareness is like turning on the light in a dark room. It doesn't make the mess disappear, but now you can see where everything is. When you become aware of your thoughts, you create a small space between you and your mind. In that space, you begin to find choice. You can ask yourself, is this thought helping me? Do I need to think about this right now? Can I let this go? That moment of noticing, of waking up from autopilot, is the beginning of mental peace. Instead of being pulled around by every thought or emotion, you start to become the calm observer. You realize, I have thoughts, but I am not my thoughts. This practice of awareness can start with small moments. When you feel anxious, stop and ask, what am I thinking right now? When you're feeling overwhelmed, pause and gently bring your attention to your breath. When you find yourself stuck in the past or future, gently say, come back. These little acts of noticing may seem small, but they are the foundation of true change. Awareness teaches you to live more fully in the present, the only place where peace can exist. It's where you can hear the birds, feel the warmth of the sun, taste your food, and connect with people deeply. Over time, awareness becomes a habit, a quiet, powerful friend who walks with you through every part of your day. It won't make your thoughts disappear, but it will help you respond instead of react, pause instead of panic, breathe instead of break down. In this chapter, we don't try to fix or fight the mind. We simply meet it with honesty, with gentleness, with open eyes. Because only when you see the storm clearly can you begin to walk through it one peaceful step at a time. And that first step is awareness. Chapter 4. Breathing as Medicine. In the middle of chaos, when your mind is spinning with worries, what if the most powerful medicine isn't something you have to search for, but something you already carry within you? That medicine is your breath. It's always with you, always available. And yet, most of us forget to use it with care. Breathing is more than just staying alive. It's one of the fastest, simplest, and most natural ways to calm a busy mind. When your thoughts are racing and your heart is pounding, your breath often becomes short, shallow, and tight. This tells your body that something is wrong, even if you're only sitting in a chair thinking. But when you take slow, deep, mindful breaths, you send a powerful message back to your brain. I am safe. I can relax. This chapter is about learning to use your breath not just to survive, but to soothe, to bring balance to your body and peace to your mind. Breathing deeply helps activate the parasympathetic nervous system, the part of your body that slows your heartbeat, lowers your blood pressure, and tells your muscles to release tension. It's like flipping a switch from fight or flight to rest and restore. You don't need fancy techniques to start. Just sit or stand still. Close your eyes if you like, and inhale slowly through your nose. Feel your belly rise like a balloon. Hold that breath gently for a few seconds. Then exhale softly through your mouth, like you're blowing out a candle. Try this a few times and notice what happens. Your shoulders drop. Your jaw softens. Your thoughts slow down. Your whole body begins to settle. It takes less than a minute, and yet it can bring incredible relief. You can use breathing as medicine anytime your mind starts to run away. Before a stressful meeting, after an argument, when you can't sleep, or simply in the middle of your day when everything feels too much. You can even turn your breath into a daily ritual. 5 minutes in the morning, a few minutes before bed, or quiet moments in between tasks. Over time, these small pauses become powerful habits. They gently retrain your mind to slow down, your body to relax, and your heart to trust that calm is possible. Breathing may seem too simple to be helpful, but that's exactly what makes it so magical. You don't need anything but yourself. And the more you practice, the more you'll realize your breath is not just air. It's peace, it's healing, it's your anchor in a world that constantly pulls you away from the present moment. In this chapter, you'll learn to stop chasing calm and start breathing it in. One slow, steady breath at a time. Because when the mind is full, the breath brings space. When the heart is tired, the breath brings rest. And when you feel lost in thought, the breath gently brings you home. Chapter 5. Writing to Empty the Mind. Sometimes, the thoughts in our head become so tangled, so loud, and so heavy that we can barely hear ourselves think, let alone feel calm. That's when writing becomes one of the most powerful tools to clear mental space. In this chapter, we explore how putting pen to paper can help you empty your mind and lighten your heart. You don't need to be a good writer or know fancy words. All you need is honesty and a quiet moment to let your thoughts flow. Writing is like opening a window in a stuffy room. Suddenly, fresh air can come in. When you write down your thoughts, you remove them from your head and place them somewhere safe, where they no longer swirl around or grow into bigger worries. It's not about fixing everything. It's about letting go of the pressure to hold it all inside. Think of writing as a private conversation with yourself. You can write anything, your fears, your to-do list, your questions, your dreams, or even just how your day went. This simple act of expression can turn confusion into clarity and chaos into calm. Some people use a journal to write each morning, pouring out whatever is on their mind before the day begins. Others write in the evening to release their stress before sleep. You can write for 5 minutes or 20. It doesn't matter. What matters is that you give your mind a safe place to land. When you write regularly, you'll begin to notice patterns, thoughts that keep returning, emotions you haven't faced, or worries that are smaller on paper than they felt in your head. Writing helps you understand yourself more deeply. It shows you what you're carrying and what you can choose to let go. Even on your hardest days, writing can be a gentle form of healing. If you're feeling anxious, write down your worries. If your thoughts are racing, write them all out, as messy and unfiltered as they come. Don't judge what you write. Just release it. If you're stuck in a loop of self-doubt, write kind words to yourself. Tell yourself, "I'm doing my best," or "It's okay to not have all the answers." Over time, these pages become a mirror, showing you how far you've come and how strong. You really are. They don't need to be shared with anyone. They're just for you, a sacred space to breathe, reflect, and reset. In a noisy world and a busy mind, writing gives you the chance to pause, to feel, and to hear your own voice. It turns the invisible into the visible, the overwhelming into the manageable. With each word you write, you create space inside. Yourself, space for peace, space for clarity, space for healing. So pick up a pen, not to impress, not to perform, but simply to release. Because sometimes the best way to calm your mind is to write your way out of it. Chapter 6. Grounding in the Present. When you're stuck in your head all day, it often feels like you're living everywhere except the present moment. You might find yourself replaying yesterday's mistakes, worrying about tomorrow's problems, or getting lost in endless what-ifs. The more your mind drifts into the past or future, the more anxious, disconnected, and overwhelmed you begin to feel. But here's the truth. Life only happens right now, in this very moment. That's where your power is. That's where peace lives. And that's what grounding is all about. Gently bringing yourself back to the present, again and again, like a quiet return home. Grounding means reconnecting with your body, your breath, your senses, and your surroundings, so your mind can take a break from its endless stories and simply be here. It's like planting your feet firmly in the earth, reminding yourself, "I am here, I am safe, I am okay right now." Grounding doesn't require silence or stillness. It can happen while you walk, cook, wash dishes, or sip tea. It's about noticing the world as it is. The feel of your feet on the ground, the taste of your food, the sound of birds or traffic outside, the rise and fall of your breath. These small acts of presence may seem unimportant, but they are powerful anchors. They pull you out of the swirl of thoughts and place you back in your body, in the now. You might say a grounding phrase like, "This is what I see. This is what I hear. This is what I feel." You might place your hand on your chest, breathe deeply, and remind yourself that you don't need to solve everything in your mind. You only need to be here, one moment at a time. Practicing grounding throughout the day helps train your brain to let go of unnecessary mental noise and return to a place of calm. It's especially helpful during moments of anxiety, panic, or emotional overwhelm. When you ground yourself, you shift your focus from thoughts to sensations, from mental tension to physical connection. This reminds your nervous system that you're not in danger, that the moment is manageable, and that there is peace to be found, even in the middle of a stressful day. Over time, grounding becomes a habit, a lifeline you can reach for whenever your thoughts start spinning. This chapter is an invitation to begin living here, not in the worries of tomorrow or the regrets of yesterday. Because here, in this simple, sacred moment, is where life touches you. And when you're grounded, you don't just calm your mind. You awaken to the beauty and safety that have always been around you, waiting for you to notice. Chapter 7, Talking It Out. Sometimes the thoughts in our head feel so heavy because we carry them alone. We try to manage our fears, doubts, and overthinking silently, convincing ourselves that we shouldn't bother others, that we should figure it out on our own. But the truth is, one of the most powerful ways to calm your mind is also one of the most human: talking it out. When you speak your thoughts aloud, especially to someone you trust, it's like opening a window in a stuffy room. You let the air in, and suddenly, everything feels lighter. This chapter is about understanding the healing power of honest, heartfelt conversation. You don't need to have all the answers. You don't need to be fixed. You just need to be heard. Sometimes, saying out loud what you've been silently thinking for days or weeks helps you see it more clearly and more gently. It takes the confusion swirling inside your head and places it out in the open, where you can begin to understand it, sort through it, and let go of what no longer serves you. Talking it out doesn't mean complaining or dumping emotions on someone. It means sharing with intention, allowing your thoughts to breathe and be acknowledged. Whether it's with a close friend, a family member, a therapist, or even into a voice memo just for yourself, speaking your thoughts aloud turns the invisible into the visible. It helps you realize that many of your fears lose their power once they're spoken, that your worries sound different outside your head, that someone else might offer a comforting word, a fresh perspective, or simply their quiet presence. And even if they say nothing at all, the act of being listened to is deeply calming. It reminds you that you're not alone, and that your feelings, no matter how messy or confusing, are valid. For many people stuck in overthinking, talking can feel scary at first. You might feel vulnerable, ashamed, or afraid of being judged. But the beauty of talking it out is that it doesn't require perfection. It just requires realness. You don't have to explain everything clearly. You don't have to be strong. You just have to speak from the heart. And each time you do, your mind releases a little more tension. Your heart softens, your thoughts slow down, and little by little, the mental storm begins to quiet. You realize that expression is not weakness. It's a path to freedom. So if your mind feels full and your heart feels heavy, don't keep it all inside. Find someone safe and say, "Can I talk for a bit?" Or sit quietly with yourself and speak your truth out loud. Words can be medicine. Conversation can be a bridge from isolation to connection. From chaos to clarity, from fear to peace. Because sometimes the simplest way to get out of your head is to speak from your heart. Chapter 8. Choosing peace over perfection. One of the biggest reasons people get stuck in their heads all day is the endless, exhausting chase for perfection. You feel like you always have to say the right thing, do the right thing, be the best version of yourself, otherwise you fear you'll fail, disappoint others, or lose control. This mindset creates constant pressure, filling your thoughts with doubt, fear, and what-if questions. You go over the same decisions again and again, trying to make the perfect choice. You analyze conversations afterward, worrying you said something wrong. You hold back from trying new things because you're afraid of making mistakes. But perfection is a trap. It doesn't bring peace, it steals it. In this chapter, we explore what happens when you stop chasing perfection and start choosing peace instead. Peace comes when you remind yourself that it's okay to be human. It's okay to not know everything. It's okay to try, to stumble, to grow slowly. You weren't born to be perfect. You were born to be real, present, and free. Choosing peace over perfection means giving yourself permission to breathe, to rest, to not have all the answers. It means accepting that your worth isn't measured by how flawless your actions are, but by how kind and true you are to yourself. When you choose peace, you allow your thoughts to soften. You replace harsh self-criticism with gentle understanding. You stop holding yourself to impossible standards and begin to create space for joy, creativity, and calm. Life doesn't need to be perfect to be beautiful. You don't need to be perfect to be enough. You begin to trust that doing your best is already good enough, and that your peace matters more than anyone's approval. This shift in mindset is not about giving up on growth or settling for less. It's about choosing the right kind of growth, the kind that's rooted in compassion, not pressure. The kind that allows room for mistakes, laughter, rest, and learning. When you let go of perfection, you free your mind from the endless need to prove, fix, and control. You start to live with more ease. You become more present in your relationships, more patient with your process, and more in tune with your true self. And slowly the mental noise that once filled your head starts to fade. In its place, there's calm, there's clarity, there's peace. So in this chapter, we invite you to ask yourself, what matters more to me? Being perfect or being peaceful? And if your answer is peace, then you're already on your way to healing. Because the moment you stop trying to be everything to everyone and start being gentle with yourself, that's when your mind begins to rest and your heart finally feels at home. Final reflection, a new way to live. As you come to the end of this journey, take a deep breath and know this. You don't have to live trapped in your head anymore. There is a gentler, freer, and more peaceful way to move through life. One where you're not constantly at war with your thoughts, not always second-guessing yourself, and not feeling overwhelmed by every decision or emotion. This new way of living doesn't mean your mind will never wander again. It doesn't mean you'll never feel stress or self-doubt. but it does mean that now you have the awareness and the tools to respond differently. You've learned how to pause, how to breathe, how to come back to the present, how to express what you're feeling, and how to let go of the pressure to be perfect. These aren't just small practices, they are powerful steps toward a life with more clarity, calm, and connection. This is your invitation to live from the inside out, not just reacting to the world, but consciously choosing your responses. It's about making peace more important than perfection, presence more valuable than performance, and self-compassion more powerful than constant self-criticism. You've discovered that calm is not something you chase. It's something you create, one moment at a time. And when you start living this way, everything begins to shift. Your relationships become deeper. Your decisions become clearer. Your energy becomes lighter. And slowly, that voice in your head that used to be filled with fear and overthinking begins to soften into a kinder, wiser guide. You are not broken. You are not too much. You are simply a human being learning how to care for your mind, heart, and spirit in a noisy world. That's something to be proud of. Overthinking may still visit you from time to time, but now you know how to greet it with understanding, not panic. You've built a toolkit of calm, your breath, your awareness, your writing, your grounding, your voice, and your courage to choose peace over pressure. This is not the end of your story. It's the beginning of a new way to live, one that honors your peace, protects your energy, and reminds you that you are more than your thoughts. So carry this truth with you always, even on the hard days, even when your mind feels full. You know the way home. And it begins with a single breath, a small pause, a gentle reminder. I am here. I am enough. I choose peace today. Closing message. You are not alone. If you've ever felt like you're the only one stuck in your head all day, spinning in circles of worry, doubt, and endless thoughts, please hear this. You are not alone. So many people are quietly carrying the same struggle, hiding their battles, behind smiles and busy schedules. We live in a world that moves fast, demands perfection, and rarely teaches us how to slow down, breathe, and care for our minds. That's why it's easy to believe that something is wrong with you, that you're weak because your thoughts feel too heavy or too loud. But the truth is, your experience is deeply human. You are not broken. You are brave for noticing, for seeking help, for wanting a life with more peace. This final message is a warm reminder that healing is not something you must do alone. There are others walking this path too, and every small step you take is a light for someone else who feels lost in the dark. You don't need to have it all figured out. You don't need to fix everything today. What matters is that you keep choosing yourself, moment by moment. Some days will be harder than others. Some thoughts will try to pull you back into old patterns. But now you have tools. You have awareness. You have a growing connection to yourself. And perhaps most importantly, you have hope. There are people, friends, family, kind strangers, even quiet books like this one, who care, who understand, and who want to remind you that you are seen and supported. You don't need to hide your pain or pretend to be strong when you're tired. Sharing your story, reaching out, asking for help, these are all acts of courage. And every time you open your heart, you give someone else permission to do the same. So as you step forward into the next chapter of your life, carry this truth with you like a gentle anchor. You are not alone. There is strength in your softness, beauty in your honesty, and healing in your willingness to keep going. Let your journey inspire others. Let your voice be heard. Let your calm grow from within. And on the days when the noise in your head feels too loud, come back to these pages. Come back to your breath. And come back to the quiet truth that has been here all along. You are worthy of peace, and you never have to walk this path alone.